My friends, take a look at this guy. AE04, Action Edition 04 from Blokees. And of course, this is Optimus Prime from the Transfomers One series. Boy, I gotta tell you, man, the sculpt is just so screen accurate. I think it's probably the best version of Prime across all the different toy manufacturers. I really enjoyed this a lot, and we're gonna go over all of the specifics today. Play patterns, gimmicks, accessories, but you might be wondering, what are all these guys doing here in the background? And simple answer is, they're here for storytelling, and our story actually starts with this little guy. So this is Defender Optimus Prime, and he kind of looks like a teddy bear. He looks like a plush doll, and that's how the proportions were. They were chibi and cute, and that's how they were meant to be perceived. And then the next step up in their Voyager line, you can see that it has a bit more detail, it's a bit more elongated, but still has that cute chibi characteristics, and you almost don't want to take him seriously. And this is the pinnacle of that line, Action Edition 01, and this is their Optimus Prime figure. Because he's much larger, there's a lot more articulation baked in, gimmicks as well, and this is one of the first ones that features the LED-powered soul block so that you can light up the eyes in the Matrix. Lots of great stuff, but at the same time, he still looks like a giant teddy bear, basically a blown-up version of this dude. But that slowly started to change with subsequent releases of the Galaxy line. This is Cogless Orion Pax, and as you can see, he's a little bit longer than his previous Galaxy counterpart. In addition to the extra height, Blokees started improving on the skeletal structure as well. They now come with reinforced joints, double knees, ball-jointed waists, and a double bobble on the head and the neck for maximum wobble. And this is the culmination, a little bit more detailed, sleeker, longer, perhaps a bit more serious, better articulation, and you might be asking yourself, well, how do all these new changes affect the old line? Well, here's the answer, and this is Optimus Prime from the latest Galaxy line, GV08, and you can tell that some of the elongation, the new details, those have been transferred over, and so he now has a brand new look. He no longer looks like a cute teddy bear, and he's more like, I don't know, like an athlete, and I'm really liking the new design. Oh, and you might be wondering, who are those two guys on the end caps? And those are supposed to be Hasbro figures. The reason I say supposed to is that this is actually Byway's version of the Studio Series Prime. Looks the same, but just bigger, different paint job and stuff. And yeah, this was cool, but he was kind of squat and he was kind of wide. Overall, a pretty good bot, especially when you paired him with an upgrade kit, but in terms of proportions, he still looked like he belonged to the Teddy Bear Squad. And this next one, I don't recall if this is a Japan-only exclusive, or maybe it was initially, and I don't recall the class either. Is it Commander? I don't know. But it's way more articulated, way more detailed and complex. It can convert into an Orion mode as well, and there were a lot of things to like about this. Also, a lot of things to dislike. For instance, I never really liked that chest. I thought it was way too small and not in proportion with the shoulders. But going back to AE04, this is where everything is finally coalesced. They started as chunkier, meatier, plush, bear-like figures, but look at our guy now. He is super svelte and very athletic. I'm really digging the new proportions. And so this video is dedicated to him, his accessories, play patterns, and gimmicks, and so let's talk about it. And so here he is without any of his armor, and I don't know, he kind of looks like Optimus Primal, maybe because all the black, but seeing him without this, you're going to be able to understand why he's so posable and well articulated. So take a look at the shoulder. It's a separate piece that has an independent up-down and also a forward and back, and so a lot of range of motion that's been baked in. Taking a look at the abdomen, he has a great crunch going backwards and forwards, no side to side, nothing lateral, but the back. Oh my goodness, the back is so beautifully represented through this lobster crunch mechanism. It's almost like the vertebrae and the sections are all independent, and you can see it moving fluidly here. Alright, so let's take a look at the legs, one of my favorite pieces, and oh my goodness, take a look at that bridge kneecap, so good. And that calf, there is just so much goodness baked in here. Take a look at the lower leg. That calf piece can only be closed up when the leg is bent. When the leg is straightened, it cannot do that, and so there's a lot of shifting and moving parts. And take a look at this. While this thing does not transform, it has the tires baked in. That is so beautiful. I can really appreciate that. And speaking of things I appreciate, yo, look at that hip joint. He can get some deep front and back kick, and also side to side so that he can do the Van Damme. And with the new double neck and head joint, he can get a nice yoga bobble. And I wanted to show you some additional poses so that I could share with you the presence that he exudes. And when I talk about presence, oftentimes I'm referring to poses, and poses that have the illusion of potential and kinetic energy trapped within. So finding a toy that's flexible and limber and highly posable, well, it really just helps the imagination run wild, and it kind of makes the toy feel alive. But why don't we dress him up? It is getting cold, and we're going to start with the shoulder piece. That shoulder armor will attach to an independent hinge that sits atop the shoulder piece, allowing for maximum posability. And to finish off the arm, we're going to grab this armor piece and attach it to the inside of the bicep, and that will fill out the top of the arm. Now we're going to start working on the lower half, and we're going to start with a side skirt that's made of 2 independent hinges. Now we're going to move our focus to the thighs, and it's made of 2 pieces, front and back, and that front piece, what's really cool is that it plugs into a sliding joint. And now we're going to attach the back of the thigh, and that adheres via a ball joint and also a long tab, and the same thing goes for a knee. Ball joint and tab will help it secure in place. Now we're going to focus on the rest of the leg, and we're going to fill out the calf. The calf consists of many unique independent layers that shift and move as you start posing the leg in different ways. We're going to start with the inner panel, the outer panel, the silver piece on top, and then add the bracket. What's really unique about the bracket is that once you lower it down, you can bring down the calf piece to reveal the tires. And to complete the calf, we're going to add the shin guard, and that consists of 2 pieces, an inner silver gray piece and a blue piece on top, and just pop those in. Now we're going to work on the foot, and it's way more complex than you'd think it'd be, and I mean that in a good way. It starts with the toe covering, the bridge for the foot, the bracket that we connect to the hinge on the back, and finally the heel support. Now to complete the foot, we're going to add one more bracket that covers up the gap in the ankle, and once you're done, you're going to have this really cool, layered, very flexible foot. Try curling it up. You'll see that it looks great due to the lobster mechanic. Really happy with how they engineered this. And now to finish off the top, we're going to add the armor pieces to the forearm, outside and in. And once you're done, it'll look like this. And now we can start working on the torso. Start by popping in the back, secure it in place, and do the same for the front. And finally, add the little grill bit underneath the chest. And here we have AE04, Action Edition Optimus Prime. And here he is, dressed up with his accessories, and my, oh my, what a beautiful beast. The Energon X looks great in its static position, but it also looks incredible in its swirly shield mode. And of course, the iconic jump pose, we can't ever forget that, and he's equipped with the jump blaster as well. And speaking of poses, let me show you how he poses with all the armor on before we get to the Orion conversion. And we're going to start with the shoulder, and as I mentioned before, it is on an independent hinge which will allow it to move freely. That elbow, while it does look limited, if you extend it down, will allow you to get into a very, very deep elbow bend. And that side armor that we made earlier, it's made of 2 pieces which allow for plate shifting. And they will shift on their own, but I'm giving them a helping hand over here so you can see it goes side to side, and when it goes front to back, that entire piece will adjust on its own. And here are the legs with the armor installed, and I wanted to show you this thigh piece. This is attached to the knee with the bridge, and so if you manipulate the top joint of the knee, that thigh bit will slide down. So watch this, you push it back and you can see the shifting. And if you want to see that deep knee bend, you can manipulate both of those joints to achieve these results. And here are the tires that I mentioned earlier. Lift up that bracket, fold down this calf piece, and you'll be able to extend the tires out. Kind of hard to see on this side though. And check out the foot, it looks like a blue metal croissant, so many independent layers. And using the lobster technology, you can fold the entire toe up. And as far as the torso goes, he has a decent enough ab crunch front to back, but the back is really where it shines. Similar to the foot, it also has a lobster bend, which gives the illusion that the vertebrae and spine are all separated, and that is such a cool look. He has the wibble wobble yoga bobble in the neck, and a chest opening gimmick that needs a little bit of coaxing, but once you open everything up, you can see the matrix inside. And here he is with that matrix lit up, and as we move to the end of the video, let me show you how he converts into Orion. And this is baseline. No head, no chest, no shoulders, and the transformation cog replacing the matrix. Install the new chest by mounting it on the skeleton and giving it a couple of pushes to secure it in place. The shoulder armor is pretty easy to install, just mount it on the same hinges as you did before. And now all that's left is to install the head of the miner known as Orion Pax. And so here he is, fully fitted, and man, even in this mode, he looks tremendous. And whether you're buying this kit for Optimus or Orion Pax, you, my friend, are going to be a happy camper with either mode. So thanks for joining me on this deep dive of AE04, Optimus Prime aka Orion Pax from Transfomers One from the Blokees group. I hope you were entertained and you found this informative, and I hope that you can be kind to yourself and others, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for being here.